If you can't even clean properly, you might as well get rid of the baby. I don't really care either way. How can you say such a thing? That's unforgivable. My name is Lisa. I'm an office worker in my late 30s. I've been married to my husband, Mike, for 5 years. We don't have any children yet. When we got married, Mike said, "We're not young anymore, and we want kids, so I'd like you to quit your job and stay home." But I really didn't want to quit my current job, so we've both been working. Nowadays, Mike understands my feelings, and we've been happily sharing household chores. His parents have even suggested that we live together. His mother, a former teacher, offered to support us so I could continue working while raising kids. She said they had received help from their own parents while working and raising their children. For now, we've been deflecting the suggestion with, "We'll think about it when the time comes." Mike has a traditional mindset, especially around his family, where he expects me to walk a step behind him. However, he's naturally kind, so at home, we have an equal relationship. For the past week or so, I haven't been feeling well. I've had nausea, lack of appetite, sudden hunger pangs, and dizziness. I've also been feeling unusually irritable. After work, I'm so exhausted that I can barely manage the housework. Mike has been very worried about me, and even though he's tired from his own job, he's been doing my share of the chores and buying food I might be able to eat. Still, as my condition persisted, Mike insisted, "You should see a doctor. If it's too hard to go alone, I'll go with you. I'm really worried. Please." So, with Mike by my side, we went to the hospital and found out that I was pregnant. The cause of my poor health was morning sickness. Both Mike and I were thrilled about the pregnancy. We thought the morning sickness would eventually subside. However, even after 1 or 2 months, my morning sickness didn't improve. Research showed that the duration and severity of morning sickness vary, and some women continue to have it until childbirth. My condition worsened, and while I managed to work, I couldn't do any housework after returning home. Seeing me like this, Mike has become cold toward me. "Why isn't your morning sickness over yet? It's not even a real illness, right? Or are you just pretending to slack off on chores? I don't know why it's like this either. How can you say something so cruel? It's not fair." Mom said she didn't have morning sickness, and she thinks it's strange for it to last this long. Even my coworkers said theirs went away quickly. And they did their housework. "You're just being lazy. If you had more willpower, you wouldn't feel sick. You're just not trying hard enough." Comparing me to his mother and others, accusing me of being lazy, Mike's words cut deep, but I didn't have the energy to fight back. I somehow managed to finish work and get home, but every day I was so exhausted, and yet I still had to do the housework. Even tasks that would normally be quick to complete took a long time because I often felt dizzy and sometimes had to run to the bathroom to throw up. Mike would finish his share of the chores, then lie on the couch watching TV, laughing while I struggled. Even when I asked for a little help, he refused, saying, "At least take responsibility for your own tasks. Morning sickness isn't an illness. If you try harder, you'll manage. If you can't handle this, how will you ever take care of a child?" One day, Mike fell asleep on the couch, and his phone slipped from his hand. Picking it up, I saw a message that read, "Has Lisa's slacking off habit improved?" Fury surged through me. Using his fingerprint, I unlocked his phone and checked his emails, finding many from his mother. Morning sickness is just an excuse to slack off. You need to put your foot down from the start. I see. Got it, Mom. I never had any morning sickness. It's all about mental strength. Lisa is just not trying hard enough. It's all in her head. She probably isn't focusing on her job either. I see. I'll tell Lisa. Raising a child is 100 times harder than morning sickness. If she's struggling now, it'll be a nightmare when the baby comes. That's really concerning. Plus, Lisa isn't young anymore. Can she even have a healthy baby? Maybe you should consider remarrying someone younger. That way, you won't have to deal with her morning sickness, and you'll have a healthier child. That makes sense. But I don't know anyone suitable. If you want, I can introduce you to someone. There's Amy, a former student of mine. She's 25, very cute. and became a teacher because she looks up to me. Teachers get good maternity leave, so it'll be easier on you. I'm sure she'd agree to live with us if I suggested it. That sounds great. Maybe you should introduce us. It turned out that Mike had arranged to have dinner with his mother and Amy. They regularly exchanged messages bad-mouthing me. I secretly checked Mike's phone whenever I had the chance, photographing and saving all the emails. I was initially stunned, but it started to make sense why Mike had become so cold. That day, I was stuck in the bathroom all day. The morning sickness was relentless, and my throat hurt from vomiting so much. I worried about the baby, wondering if it was okay. I could barely keep down any solid food and was just managing to stay hydrated. Feeling desperate, I tried to call Mike from the bathroom for help, but he happened to walk in. I'm really struggling today. Please take me to the hospital. An intravenous might help. Morning sickness isn't a big deal. Stop pretending. I have plans today. Don't bother me. Today was the day Mike was supposed to have dinner with his mom and Amy. I wanted to follow them, but I was in no condition to do so. I was supposed to go out this evening, but seeing you like this is depressing, so I'm leaving now. I can't even relax in my own home. Enjoy your day off. Why do you say such awful things? This baby is ours. Can't you help me a little? Whatever. If you can't even clean because of morning sickness, just get rid of the baby. I don't care. You're choosing to have this baby. So deal with it yourself. Just don't burden me. As I listened to his words, I started to feel faint. I couldn't keep my eyes open. When I woke up, I was in the hospital. My parents were staring at me, looking worried. What happened? It turned out I had accidentally called my parents while trying to call Mike. My father heard everything Mike said. My parents rushed over and found me unconscious in the bathroom. Mike had left me there and gone out. They called an ambulance, and I was taken to the hospital. Thankfully, both the baby and I were fine, but I had to stay overnight as a precaution. My parents tried to contact Mike, but he didn't respond. The messages were marked as read, but there was no reply. He didn't come to the hospital that day. I told my parents everything in tears. I showed them all the photos of Mike's messages. My father thought quietly for a moment, then said, "We need to talk to Mike and his parents." The next morning, as I was being discharged, Mike finally showed up. He smirked and said, "Why did you have to get hospitalized?" It was just one night. See, your morning sickness isn't a big deal. Let's go home. Wait a moment, Mike. The doctor said she needs to take a break from work. I've already informed Lisa's employer. Wow, now you're taking time off work too. Nice. Morning sickness seems great. Anyway, since you'll be home, I guess I don't have to do any chores. Mike, have you talked to your dad lately? Does he know about Lisa's condition? No. I haven't spoken to him. Mom knows and probably told him. Given Lisa's situation and your attitude, I can't let her go back with you. Lisa will stay with us for now. That's unacceptable. Don't spoil Lisa. I'm sorry, but we need to apologize to your parents as well. We'd like to visit your home when your father is present. By the way, what happened last night? We called multiple times. Were you busy with work? Mike might have noticed that my mother's eyes were not smiling. With a strained face, he said, "I understand. I'll arrange it." Yes, I was busy with work last night. I've been swamped lately. Anyway, I'll be going now, and he started to leave the room. At that moment, Dr. Smith, the attending physician, arrived for my discharge examination. After the checkup, Dr. Smith explained how I should take care of myself from the next day. Emphasized that I should eat what I could and rest as much as possible. Then, turning to Mike, Dr. Smith said, "Are you Lisa's husband? Lisa is in a very tough situation right now, so please take care of her. Try to handle as much of the housework as you can so she can rest." Mike responded, "Dr. Smith, it's just morning sickness. I know you have to say these things to avoid complaints. But I'll make sure Lisa does her part." When we talk with my parents, they'll also give her a good scolding. Now, I'll take my leave. Dr. Smith looked puzzled and said, "It seems your husband is misunderstanding something. Would you like me to explain things to him properly?" My mother replied with a smile, "No, that's quite all right. We'll handle him ourselves." "I'm sorry you had to witness that." My parents quietly pondered something. About a month later, my condition finally started to improve. It was time to face Mike and settle things with his parents. During the month at my parents' house, I hadn't contacted Mike much and had no idea how far his relationship with Amy had progressed. I apologize for causing trouble by staying at my parents' house due to my morning sickness. No trouble at all. Are you feeling better now? Make sure not to strain yourself. My father-in-law said, showing concern for my health while Mike and his mother smirked at me. Thank you. Actually, Mike pointed out that my morning sickness was just an excuse, and as parents, we're deeply troubled by this. What? Morning sickness is just an excuse? Mike, did you say that? Well, yeah, isn't that right, Mom? Well, it did seem to last quite long, but you're better now, aren't you, Lisa? Mike's mother tried to brush off the topic. No, we need to clarify this. I heard that you are worried that Lisa, being older, might not have a healthy baby and suggested Mike remarry a younger former student of yours, Amy. How far has this plan progressed? What? My wife said that? Really? No, it was just a joke. Joke? Mom, what do you mean? We had dinner with Amy, and I really liked her. I thought we were planning to divorce Lisa and marry Amy. Especially since Lisa isn't doing the housework properly. Everyone fell silent. The tension in the room was palpable. Mike's mother turned pale, and his father turned red with anger. It seems a lot has been going on without my knowledge. Please leave for today. I'll have a serious talk with these two. I'm very sorry for this. I went back to my parents' house again. I have a feeling that I might never return to that house again. A few days later, my father told me surprising news. Mike had been disciplined by his company. The reason was maternity harassment. He was accused of maternity harassment against women in the same department. He said things like, "Feeling sick just because you're pregnant? That's just proof you're slacking off. Work isn't your break time. If you don't want to do it, go home." He also made pregnant women with large bellies do heavy lifting and said, "You can't even handle this? You're just a burden to the company. You should quit already. You're such a nuisance to everyone." It was really terrible. Several victims had reported him to the company's compliance department. My father, who had business connections with Mike's company, had received this information. Mike said, "But Mom taught me that. I was just following her advice." What's wrong with that? I might think that privately, but publicly, you must be kind to pregnant women and show concern if they are unwell. Don't you understand that? So, you knew it was wrong to say such things to Lisa but still guided Mike to divorce her. Why? I thought Mike wasn't getting it, so I tried to steer things towards a divorce. Amy would listen to me and agree to live with us. Lisa is too headstrong for my liking. It turned out Mike's mother had orchestrated everything. Mike was just following her lead. After that, Mike kept trying to contact me. I was misled by Mom. I didn't know anything. Please forgive me. I'll cherish you and our baby from now on. But didn't you tell me to get rid of this baby? Now you want to cherish it? It's too late. I'll give you a divorce so you can be happy with Amy. We had this conversation repeatedly. The words, "get rid of the baby," that Mike had said as I was losing consciousness deeply wounded me. This is the one thing I can't forgive. On the other hand, Amy didn't even know Mike was married, and she only had dinner with him because my mother-in-law invited her. She wasn't really keen on it but felt it would cause trouble at work if she refused. By the way, she didn't become a teacher because she admired my mother-in-law. She also said she doesn't look up to her at all. When Amy learned of Mike's mother's intentions, she was genuinely shocked and disgusted. She had been unknowingly dragged into the situation. I thought getting a divorce would be difficult, but Mike's father yelled at Mike and his mother, convinced them, and the divorce was finalized. I deeply regret that Mike hurt you during such a difficult time. I'm also sorry for actions of my wife. I should have been more attentive. He sincerely apologized. Mike's alimony and child support were paid in full by my father-in-law. Mike is supposed to repay him in monthly installments. Thank you for making the divorce process smooth and for your concern. Please visit when the baby is born. I'd love to, but I need to keep a close watch on Mike and my wife. If they find out I'm secretly meeting you, they might act out. I don't want to put you or the baby in any more danger. Mike resigned from his job after being disciplined. It seems he felt uncomfortable staying at the company. After that, he changed jobs but couldn't stick with any, and he's been hopping from job to job since. He now lives with his parents, under his father's watchful eye, feeling very constrained. His mother faced widespread gossip at work about the incident with Amy and became an outcast. In the teaching profession, there's a lot of turnover with teachers transferring to different schools every 3 to 8 years, making it easy for rumors to spread widely. Even without the gossip, she had already been considered problematic by her colleagues. Learning that Amy didn't admire her and actually disliked her was a huge shock. She's now much quieter at work. After I safely gave birth to a baby girl, as expected, he said, "Please let me see my daughter. I'm paying child support, so I have the right." I responded formally, "Child support payments and visitation rights are legally separate obligations." During the divorce, it was agreed that you would pay child support but not have visitation. Therefore, visitation is not allowed. After that, I didn't hear from him again. Still, I sometimes wonder if it's right to deprive my daughter of her father based on my feelings. After all, Mike was manipulated by his mother. When I shared my concerns with my mother, she said, "Mike is a kind person, but who is he kindest to? If he's kindest to you and the baby, then maybe you should consider it." But is he? Indeed, Mike was kind but mostly to himself. When I became a burden, his negative feelings emerged, and he followed his mother's lead. I can't trust someone who turned away when I needed help. When my daughter is older and can decide for herself, I might ask if she wants to meet him. Until then, I won't allow it. Since my daughter's birth, my world has changed. Parenting is both a joy and a challenge. I plan to return to work after maternity leave, placing her in daycare. During my maternity leave, I'll be staying at my parents' house. Soon, I'll start looking for an apartment near my parents' place so I can live with my daughter. Secretly, I contacted Mike's father, and he visited us once. Watching him lovingly hold my daughter made me want him to visit more often. My father-in-law didn't take any pictures of my daughter. He said that if he did, he might look at them often at home, and my mother-in-law or Mike might find out. Instead, I took many photos of him with my daughter. I plan to make an album and gift it to him someday. I am fortunate to have my parents' support and a place to return to at work. Sometimes I wonder what life would have been like if my morning sickness hadn't been severe and I had stayed with Mike. Would he have supported me through the challenges of parenting? Would he have protected our daughter when needed? In hindsight, I'm glad his true nature emerged early. Maybe my daughter was the one who made me realize this. Moving forward, I'll appreciate the kindness around me and walk with my daughter towards a brighter future.